Hey everybody, Matt Donner here from Pyramind. We're going to take a hot look at Strangers by Seven Lions. The concept is complexity equals or gets simplicity. The more interesting your chord progression, the more complex your harmonic structure or your harmonic statement, the more realistic and successful you will be by taking that central theme and copying and pasting it in a variety of different production forms throughout the song. The song Strangers, today we're going to look at it, and I guess you'd call it the radio edit. There is a long version and there is a short version. The long version has about a 2-minute build-up, which is in, I believe, the key of C minor. I'm not going to look at that. I'm going to take it from when the intro kind of hits a big note, hits a chord, pads out, breaks down, and then comes in with a nice soft pad. Shortly thereafter, there comes vocals. So we're going to look at that second half of the song. What it's doing that's similar to Disclosure is it's a modal layering. You've got the melody over here and you've got the harmony over here. Now, you might think that, well, melody's on top and harmony's underneath, but in this case, it's actually the melody is below and the harmony is above. It's also similar in that it's in a musical mode called Dorian. There are multiple ways to explain this. I use modes, so for those of you out here who disagree with my modal concept, sorry, that's the best part about music theory, is everybody gets their own interpretation. This is mine. Dorian means, and I think with the Disclosure song we looked at it in the key of B flat. Today we're going to look at things in the key of F. F Dorian is a minor mode on a collection of notes that has a particular relationship. In F Dorian, the scale relationship looks like this. You've got F, hopefully you can see this on the screen, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D natural, E flat, F, D natural, F, and A flat. These three notes kind of really make up the essence of what Dorian is. Some people call this, there are a variety of type of sixth chords. This might fall into that category. For some, for me, it's a Dorian minor, F minor, add natural 6. It has this sort of film noir, this sort of LA in the 20s detective vibe. There are a lot of different things you can do with it. That's Dorian, the scale. The chords are aplenty. You have a 1 minor, a 2 minor, a flat 3 major. This concept came up with some conversation online with some of the other videos, and I just want to take a moment to explain. I call it a flat 3 major. It's really just a major chord, and it's really just the third chord. You don't have to call it a flat 3. I call it a flat 3. Many people do. The reason I call it a flat 3 is because the third is not major. It's flattened to be minor. It just helps reinforce in my mind the fact that it's not 1, 2, 3, it's 1, 2, flat 3. So that was a little bit of conversation explaining that. So again, 1 minor, 2 minor, flat 3 major, 4 major. And that's a pretty unique piece of Dorian because there's that 6, that D natural, F major. Other minors, natural minors, have a 4 minor. This one, a 4 major. And then a 5 minor, 6 diminished, flat 7 major, and then all over again. So what we're going to look at in the Stranger song is a 4-chord progression, sometimes thought of as a 4-chord pop song. Well, this is Dorian's 4-chord pop song. If you don't know what the 4-chord pop song is, Axis of Awesome. That will tell you everything you need to know. Have some fun with that. Come back. 4-chord pop song in Dorian is a 1 minor, flat 3 major. For some people, it would then go to a flat 7 and then a 4 major, which you've heard a bazillion times. For us today, it's the other 4-chord pop song, made immortalized by Daft Punk and Get Lucky. And for the summer when that song came out, the whole world stopped and went crazy for Get Lucky. And so maybe you're the same. For me, when I hear this 4-chord progression, it's instantly, oh, that's Get Lucky. I know exactly what that is. And it's a 1, flat 3, 5 minor, 4 major. So this 1, 3, 5, 4 progression, 1, 3, 5, there, 4 major. That progression is Get Lucky, although they play it in the key of B, so it would be. We're going to do it in the key of F. So that is the main progression. In and of itself, that's not terribly complex. They do two things. Seven Lions does two things to make it complex. One of which is that the fourth chord is an interesting chord. Let's take a moment to dig into the fourth chord. 1, flat 3, 5, and really what it is this. Now that's a little bit interesting. It's not this boring old major. It's a boring old major with a 4. So that chord is a little bit rich. So you get, and then here, it's just got a nice little tension in it at the end of the phrase so that when we come around again, you're like, oh, okay, good. It's got a little extra tension. Extra tension creates momentum. Momentum keeps it interesting, buys you time for the listener. That's one piece of the complexity. The other piece of the complexity is exactly the same, again, as Disclosure, in that the chords are in Dorian in one key, and the melody is major in another, and they're relative. So F Dorian is the exact same scale as E flat major. So you have, if I played it backwards, chords here. I'm improvising, but that's E flat major in the right hand, the same 4-chord Dorian pop song in the left hand. That is the complexity ball game. Okay, you've got the modal layering, harmony up here, F minor, F Dorian, down a whole step, E flat major in the melody. And so we have. Now it's a little hard to hear because the pad is so sweeping and beautiful, but to look at the notes, you can see these two guys right there. Ableton, of course, calls them D and D sharp. It's D and E flat. Sorry, that's what it is. Point is, it's D and E flat next to each other, and you can hear it's like car horns, just tension. And it's beautiful here because the pad is smoothing it out, but there is tension underneath it. Let me show you what the melody is doing. The melody is demonstrating something that's the other half of this complexity business. And it's leveraging the concept of patterns and variations. The pattern of the main melody is nothing but a stranger up in my house on the street. Let me pull up the piano so you can see that a little more clearly. E flat major. Do, dear, na, na, na. That's kind of your test to see if it's major. So you have. Barring my sloppy playing, right? Nothing but a stranger passing by out on the street. Memories are fading, though it's only been a week. Pretty much the same line, pretty much the same melody. All the leaves of things have gone, the things they used to be. 3 stanzas in a row, practically the exact same melody. Notes, rhythm, pattern. The words are different, everything else is the same. But here on the 4th one, Sorry, I forgot the lyrics. The point is, you have 3 in a row of 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And on the end, we go 1, 2, 1, 7, 1, 6. So this concept of setting you up with a pattern that you start to recognize, that you hear it once, you hear it again, oh, that's like the first one. Is it going to be again? You hear it, 3 in a row. Gotcha. I know the pattern now. I bet you the 4th one's going to be the same. Oh, it's different. Oh, that was weird. Well, let's keep listening. And you see how your brain is desperate to understand the patterns and predict them. We love to guess the future, don't we? We just love to guess the future. And it's fun when you get it right. And it's frustrating when you get it wrong. And it's challenging. And it's usually, we want to play again. And I'm going to get it right this time. And that's how music works. It tricks your brain into delivering patterns of recognition. And then, surprise. Now, melodically, this melody does this in a few different ways. Here are the first stanzas. Again, I'll play the chords. Now here's the change. By then, you kind of get the point. We have a group of melodies here hovering around the 1. You get 3 of them, 4th one's different. And the second one, you have, that's 1. And then you have 2 of those, maybe even. So it's a little different, but kind of the same. And then 2 in a row, and then again it changes. 3rd stanza. Again. 3 times. And then change again. And then back. Repeats. So if you really look at the melody, it's this group of similar patterns that change. Similar patterns that change differently. Similar patterns that don't change that much. Come back to the second pattern, more variation. And that's the whole melody of the song. So once you get the pattern, you kind of have the guts of what it's doing. She's intelligently changing this note, this pattern a little bit here, a little bit there, to make it just unique enough to make your brain think, oh, that was different. But it's not that different. It's a little bit of a note different here or there. So yes, it's different, but not that much. And it's tricking you. Brilliant. That's the melody. That's the harmony. That complexity extends over. So Strangers presents similar lessons to both the Disclosure song and the Zed's Spectrum, in that they are somewhat complex, basic harmonic structures. Here's this block of what the song is. Copy, paste, 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 paste. That's not all of it, obviously. That's just the guts of it. Then it's layers of production, layers of production, layers of production, intense sound design, which makes the song interesting, flowing all the way through. This is a beautiful song, Strangers. Totally love the track. I don't want to misrepresent, but its harmonic structure is very much the same throughout. And that's how this song works. Thank you, Internet, for being kind on some of my other videos. We've gotten some very overwhelmingly positive feedback. I really appreciate that. The Internet is not always kind, and I do appreciate everyone keeping comments to the positive. Generally speaking, always encourage comments and questions, and some of you already know you've asked me questions on these videos, and I've answered, either through YouTube or privately. So yes, you can reach out to me. Someone put my email address out there. Thank you, I think, for whoever did that. But by all means, reach out, ask questions. How can this help you in your productions? You can start working with theory and start working with the chords and make simple building blocks that have complexity within them, and then layer them with other interesting melodies and make this sort of singular harmonic block of an idea, and then structure that through the track. And that should buy you a little more time of interest, help solve the problem of why is my song only a minute and a half and then I'm bored. That's part of it. In the meantime, if you're interested in knowing more about how to work with Pyramind, whether through classes or through other means, by all means reach out. And if you want to ask questions, please do. Until then, this is Matt Donner here at Pyramind. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you out there on our channel somewhere else pretty soon. Ciao.
If you're a music producer, subscribe to our channel and stay up to date on the latest Pyramind tutorial videos, track breakdowns, elite sessions, and more. Visit us at pyramind.com.